This is the Team Clear Coat podcast. We're two friends finally doing something about our obsession with cars.
We're probably not doing it well, but it should be fun, and we might actually learn something along the way. I'm Dave.
And I'm Ian, and this is our show. Hey, Dave.
Ian, you doing okay, buddy?
It's just a malaise has set over.
Really?
I'm not, and it's been a week since we got back from our road trip, and I'm not in a race car.
Oh, you have race car withdrawals.
A little bit. I was useless all week at work last week.
Were you?
Just useless.
Your boss might listen, Ian.
Nobody listens to this, Dave. My boss might listen. That's funny.
I forgot.
That's funny. So welcome to a very special episode, two-part. This is the first part of a two-part episode of Team Clear Coat, in which we go to Wisconsin, drive a race car, and back.
Yep, that's what we did. And so much more.
So much more. So the first thing that we're going to listen to, which we'll get to in a little bit. So we decided that we were going to rent a minivan.
You decided you would rent a minivan.
I decided we were going to rent a minivan. So I just went ahead and made an executive decision on that. The reasons for which are kind of boring. They involve a large piece of furniture that I needed to retrieve from that area of the country.
Yep.
So I was like, you know what? Let me see how much it is to rent a minivan. And it turned out it was crazy cheap.
It was pretty fucking cheap.
Yeah. So I rent a lot of cars for work. So I can use points and all that sort of stuff. So it was like $200.
Okay.
To rent a minivan for 4 days and drive. We drove almost 2,500 miles in it.
Yeah, we did. We drove the wheels off of that thing.
Yeah. So we got a Nissan Quest.
2,500. Yeah, it was 1,100 each way.
Yeah, so at least 2,200
plus
miles.
all the commuting. Yeah. And handbrake turns and
burnouts.
But anyway, you were saying, I'm sorry.
I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, we got a Nissan Quest.
Yep, we did in white.
In pearl white, I think.
Yeah, it was actually kind of a nice color for a minivan. Yeah.
And the surprising thing, we're just going to get this out of the way. We both liked it.
Yeah.
We both liked the minivan quite a lot.
Yeah, we did. And it's nice to see the popular opinion is kind of swaying on this stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, we are certainly part of the group that says like, hey, we need to rethink this whole fucking crossover thing that we never liked in the first place.
Right. And
start taking a look at minivans again. Because guess what? Electric sliding doors are pretty fucking awesome.
You say that. But if I had that car, the very first modification I would do, make it so they open at highway speeds. You can't open them when the car's in motion. What the fuck's the point? That's the whole point of those things. How are you supposed to pull off a bank heist with the minivan if you can't open the doors while it's moving?
You're exactly right. So Ian and I were on the highway and we found the button for the driver.
It was the first thing I started doing. Yeah. I was just pressing buttons to try to get doors to open.
And we both kind of right before it was like, okay, let's see if anything would fall out.
Yeah.
And we kind of thought through what would happen if the door opened at that time.
Yeah.
And then
we reached the conclusion of we don't know and hit it anyway.
Yeah. Thankfully, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it did not open. Because otherwise I would have waited till you slept and then I just would have opened one of the doors.
Oh, Jesus. But we liked the minivan. We liked it. It had, and this kind of helps us reform our opinions on CVTs.
Yeah.
Right? Because we found a CVT that we actually liked.
Well, I don't know that it was
a CVT engine combo, I should say.
Yes, because I feel like every other CVT that I've ever driven has been paired with a really anemic engine.
The Lexus 450h that my girlfriend has is an awesome execution of a CVT.
And I think that's a common theme. So this had the 3.5 liter V6 that's been in everything that Nissan makes. And it was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like it moved out of its own way. It was pretty quick for a minivan.
At highway speeds, hitting the accelerator to pass a truck or something like that resulted in really quick power.
Yes.
Right?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And we're going to talk more about the minivan later in another segment, but we just wanted to get that out of the way.
We liked a minivan.
Yeah. So let's set the scene.
Yeah, I liked a minivan. I liked a minivan. Oh, God, it feels so good to let that out. I liked a minivan.
There's something to be said about a car that does a thing and does it well. It does one thing and does it well.
Ian,
Dave, yeah, it's okay.
I feel like a giant weight's been lifted off me.
I know.
Saying that I like a minivan.
I know. Me too. It's freeing in a way.
It is. Yeah.
So let's set the scene for this first segment.
Yes.
So we are on the road. We're only about an hour into the trip.
We started pretty early. We left Denver before 9 a.m. Right?
I think right at 9 was when we got on the highway.
Yep.
After acquiring bagels
and coffee,
rental car.
Yep.
Saying goodbye to the toddler, all that.
Yep. Turning in my Yaris rental car that I had before. Yeah.
Yeah. Really confusing the rental car people with the logistics that we had.
God. Yeah. Yeah. That. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised they just didn't throw a set of keys at us and tell us to get out. Take it. Just take what you want. Take what you want. Yeah.
So we basically we pointed the thing east, and we're headed toward the most boring road in the world, I-80, which will come in a later segment. So this is our trip up to I-80, and we're just starting to feel each other out as far as what we're, our strategies for road tripping and all that. So we're just feeling it out.
Yeah, this is the first time Ian and I have been on a long drive, so we are feeling each other.
Up,
out,
in, all over,
at,
around.
I don't know. I'm using prepositions, Ian. I'm using prepositions.
Roll tape.
Ian,
Dave.
We're just checking in. Still on the road. We made it to Nebraska, buddy.
We are in Nebraska. We've gone a little over 200 miles.
Yep.
We have, 180 until our next fuel stop.
Yep.
And I think, so we're only a couple hours into this.
Yes.
We've already discovered maybe a slight difference in road trip philosophies.
Yes.
And that revolves around the penis, unsurprisingly for us.
The penis as in P-E-E-N-E-S-S or P-E-N-I-S? Or both?
What are you talking about?
Like the penis as in the act of peeing, penis?
Oh.
P-E-E-N-E-S-S
All
or
of the above.
P-E-N-I-S?
I don't know about you, but mine involve both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
you do that from there?
Yeah.
Huh.
You might want to get that checked out.
Okay.
I learned so much from doing this podcast.
I have too.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
So I was about to make an analogy that I was like, grab the recorder, we need to capture this.
Yes.
Because I think it might be recording worthy. So the analogy I want to make is that, you know how when women are around each other,
yes,
their cycles
sync up.
They sync up.
Okay.
The moment I get into a car, my cycle syncs, my bladder syncs with the gas tank.
Okay.
Is what happens.
Okay. All right.
So my desire to pee is directly related to the position of the fuel gauge.
Okay. All right.
Or at least that's what I convinced myself to power through until the fuel stops.
Sure, that's why you're sweating profusely now.
Yes, and it smells like urine.
Okay,
You just pee when you need to pee.
I just pee when I need to pee.
Well, isn't that nice for you? What a luxury to just be able to stop whenever you want. You don't have anywhere to be. You just going through the world so happy. We get it, Dave. You're the one. You're the happy one. We know it.
It just pees whenever he wants.
He's just peeing here, he's peeing there, he's peeing everywhere. Just peeing.
I don't know. I think I used to be very like mission mode on a road trip.
Yeah.
Where like I would deprive myself of coffee.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to have to pee.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I just said, fuck it.
You got to be strategic. You got to be strategic about it.
It's not that you got to be. It's that you can be if you want to.
No, there's math. There's.
These are all absolutes that must be obtained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta get to where you're going.
Okay. All right.
In an efficient, speedy,
manner.
Right, that's true. But
Well,
also
stopping is the opposite of those things.
it is, but also coffee helps keep you awake.
Yes.
Coffee is delicious.
You know what else helps keep you awake?
What's that?
Really having to pee.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling run down, what do you do besides having to pee to help keep you more alert during a road trip?
I start trying to do mental math.
Okay, so
Which
like
I'm not great at.
okay, so talk me through some of that.
So, trying to figure out like when I'm gonna be at a certain mile marker.
Okay.
Like, when I'm gonna be at a certain like points of interest along the route. Or
Sure.
my next fuel stop, or
Okay.
trying to figure out how long my fuel will last, or whatever.
Okay.
That's
So just doing mile per hour, distance, speed, time calculations.
Yeah. And almost never get any of those right.
Okay. All right. But the act of doing them is what kind of helps keep your mind going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can see that.
What about you?
I prefer to go for I'll listen to stand-up comedy albums.
Oh, that's good.
That's something that's really pretty engaging.
Yeah.
An engaging listen. Typically don't do music when it's a risk of me being kind of fatigued.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think I'm more likely to kind of mentally check out to music than I am to something that I'm interested in, like a stand-up album or like a certain kind of podcast.
Gotcha.
I think there's some podcasts that I could easily like fall asleep to. Something that's just kind of more monotonous. Like, I used to listen to the Professor Blastoff podcast with Tig Notaro.
Uh-huh.
Something like that. And they would even joke about it on the show that people fell asleep listening to their show. But, versus something like Comedy Bang Bang,
Right.
where it's like...
It's always moving.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Also, I've been known to, on the back of my hand, bite the little hairs off the back of my fingers.
Oh, God.
To cause a tiny bit of pain, and that keeps me awake.
Okay.
So
I'll do one of these. I'll do
a little face slap. Okay.
A little face slap.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that we're in the car together, we can do those for each other.
I am not biting anything off of any face on you.
Well, I'll slap you in the face, and then we'll just go from there.
Okay.
We'll just wing it from there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. My safe word is Dodge Journey.
My safe word is don't stop.
Well, we just made it weird.
We did.
Let's go exercise our safe words, and we'll check in a little bit.
Okay, bye.
Dodge Journey!
Don't stop!
Dodge Journey!
Don't stop!
Dodge Journey!
Fucking...
We have the worst safe words.
I know. It's... That's my new safe word. I have the worst safe word.
That's perfect. It's terrible and self-deprecating and funny all at the same time. That's perfect, Dave. That's the best thing I've ever heard. I have the worst safe word.
I have the worst safe word.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
I think as we're kind of talking through some of this,
yeah,
emotionally we're reliving some of these things. So like the arcs that we went on this road trip, I think you and I are going to revisit some of that in the blanket fort.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, not to put too fine a point on all this, but that's the thing with I think this show and the one that is going to come after this whole trip is the arc that you go through with a person when you're in a car for 16 hours straight, and then you have a whole weekend together, and then you have a 16-hour drive home.
Yeah.
There's some highs and lows there.
Yep.
Some highs and lows.
There certainly are.
Yes, there are. You know what you did. You know what you did.
We'll talk about it in episode 2.
Anyway, so we are right now, after that, whatever that first segment was. Wow.
Yeah.
We're now about to enter Nebraska, and for anyone who hasn't driven through on I-80 in Nebraska,
don't.
It's pretty much the worst. If you're going from east-west, it's not good. But
You should go north-south on I-80, though, because then you're just crossing the street.
it's like, what?
And maybe a truck will hit you and take you out of your misery.
But all of that said, all of that is true. But I feel like at the time,
Yes.
when we were in the place, we managed to really get down to like a nuanced,
Yes.
sort of
Subtle
and very delicate
I was
essence.
just thinking delicate. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we boiled it down
Right?
to. It's just precise elements.
Very zen.
Yeah.
Very quiet.
Yeah.
Like a very elegantly written haiku.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So what you're about to hear right now, right after I finish this sentence, is our sensual, delicate haiku to Nebraska.
Dave,
Ian.
we're in the middle of we're in the middle of Nebraska.
We're in the middle of Nebraska.
We have a nearly empty tank of gas.
We're on I-80. I have to pee. Yeah.
It is boring out here.
We've done 300 miles and 300 and something miles,
Yeah.
right?
It's boring.
Oh shit. Okay, so this just hit me a second ago.
All right.
Okay, so you and I, we're gonna
Yeah.
be in the car for 32 hours
We
together.
have 29 more hours
Yeah.
in the car together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus a whole race weekend in
Well,
between.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. Okay, so this is gonna get a little feelings heavy.
For
So
fuck's sake.
so trigger warning. Trigger warning.
And I look at where we are. I have nowhere to escape to.
No, you don't, because if you just run into a cornfield,
Yeah.
I will chase you, tackle you, and continue to talk about feelings.
All right, let's get this over with.
Okay, so I have to say, the thing that I didn't even think about the trip until just now is the fact that, like, that you and I are going to have to spend so much time together,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
right? That you and I have a really solid friendship, right?
Okay.
And that, like, I wasn't even worried. I wasn't even worried about spending that kind of time with you.
All
Like,
right.
it didn't, like, that didn't even factor into what I thought about the road trip
Okay.
at all.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I have a whole list of concerns. let me just run through them really fast.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Okay. Yeah, no, like, it's just, you know, they always, like, joke, like, a road trip will make or break a relationship.
Yeah,
But,
it's
like,
either that or a trip to IKEA. That's
A trip to IKEA,
Yeah.
maybe a very intense game of categories
yeah.
over the holidays with your family,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That
they
seems
do
to be
it.
where it all comes out.
Yeah.
You-
Monopoly will do that too.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I never thought of that. I never thought, like, oh, like, Ian and I are going to have to spend so much time together. Never worried me, concerned me, anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole secret to this whole project, right? Is that
Yeah.
It's Dave and Ian are friends.
Yes.
Project
Yeah.
in audio form,
Yes.
and it just happens that cars is what.
That's what brought us together.
Facilitated.
Yeah,
It was a facilitator.
it was. It was.
So yeah. So we are headed towards Kearney.
Yep.
Kearney.
This is where Ian segues away from talking about feelings.
I
and
think it's
sensitivity.
pronounced. Nobody gives a shit.
Oh, it's
Nebraska.
pronounced. Oh no. Hang on, I have something for this. It's pronounced. Ah!
This is gonna be unusable.
No. We're keeping it all. Keeping it all. I don't care if it's peaking the levels, Ian.
All right. Well, you peaked my feelings levels, so
Yeah.
let's turn it down a notch.
Okay. All right. So
Good check-in. Good check-in.
Yeah. We were talking about energy thresholds earlier, right? And you were
Yeah.
worried that we were maintaining too high of an energy.
Yeah, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
And I was maintaining a level of social energy that I'm not accustomed to maintaining for a long period of time.
Right.
I am at sprinting pace socially right now.
Right.
And you were
while
like,
I am merely walking.
and you're like, oh, this is my all-day pace.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all day, son.
This is
all day.
This is subdued Dave. Yeah. This is Dave when you tell him to take it down a notch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. We'll see. Maybe it's a little early to declare victory on the time spent together in the car. Let's put a pin in this and revisit. And
Yeah.
I'm going to say about 11 o'clock tonight. when
Okay.
We're still driving.
Okay.
Yes, I concur.
Ian,
Dave,
I'm driving a minivan.
you are driving a minivan, and you know what? You crossed nearly a whole state.
I know. God damn, Nebraska was boring.
Nebraska was terrible. It was
Oh,
boring.
I feel hoarse from our previous cut of
Yeah.
us yelling.
But now we're in Iowa, and as I promised,
Yeah.
it's pretty. It's.
It actually is. Like, it's rolling.
I think the word is bucolic. Is the word
Bucolic?
bucolic? It's rolling and agricultural and charming. Is bucolic.
That makes me think of a baby that has colic and also the bubonic plague.
Or that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the alternative definition of that word. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, it's bucolic here. It's pretty. It's
It
nice.
actually is, yeah. It's nice. We made it through a big traffic jam in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, we haven't stabbed each other over music choices yet.
Nope. You were playing something I really liked, Fisher Spooner album,
Yeah.
that I had never heard before, but I'm going to pick that up. It's really good.
Yeah. Number one, it's from 2001. Number one is the name of the album. And just watch their videos. Their videos are entertaining.
Okay.
Let's say that.
Okay. I'll have to check them out when we stop.
Yeah. What are we thinking about the rental car? What's your review of the rental car? This is your first leg driving it.
Yeah, it's honestly not bad. Like, if you need to haul tons of people and shit, you could do a lot worse. Like, I can't even imagine someone who would pick a Dodge Journey over something like this. Like,
Yeah.
if you need to haul kids and stuff, just fucking own it and get something like this, because guess what? Minivans are not like they used to be.
Yeah, and also it's faster than the Journey.
Yeah,
Much.
yeah.
Yeah, and there we go. Yeah, there's some of it right there.
Yeah.
We looked it up. Sources have told us.
Uh-huh.
Sources have told us that the top speed of this is 120 miles an hour.
Yep, we looked it up.
We had Encyclopedia Britannica in the back,
Yep, I dusted them off.
and we opened it to Q for Quest,
Uh-huh, yep.
and it said the Nissan Quest has a top speed of 120 miles an hour.
Comma Ian. Yeah, it was a little weird how it personalized it for you.
It was strange, especially since that was a 1963 edition
I know.
of the Encyclopedia Britannica. But there you
Yeah.
go. I mean, it was written long ago in
Yeah.
a place far away.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned for the longevity of you and I in this vehicle for one cause.
Is it that you have to poop?
Well, no, I have been farting a lot.
Okay.
But I just scratched my armpit and then
Oh, you gave it a little.
yeah.
And
And I think the deodorant's starting to break down.
uh-oh.
Yeah, I think
Uh-oh.
the deodorant's starting to break down.
Well, give yourself a little more AC. That's why I keep it locker room, or not locker room, like
meat
like
locker?
meat locker temperature over
Like
on my side.
Blanket Fort-esque temperatures
Yeah,
on your side?
that's why I got that going on. I might
Okay.
actually go a little cooler.
Yeah?
I'm going down
Okay.
to 60 on my
Oh,
side.
So Ian and I have dual zone climate control
Yeah.
in the Quest.
And mine's at 60 and Dave's is at 97 for some reason.
It is not. It's 65.
We've both had other rental cars recently too. Let's talk about those.
Oh God. Well, this is going to come out on the podcast. It's already broke on Twitter and Instagram, but Dusty Rusty might be no more.
Yeah, we still don't know right now.
We still don't know. So we're going to do a whole episode, should Dusty Rusty not make it. We'll do a whole episode dedicated to
Can
Dusty
we do
Rusty.
like a really cheesy, like in memoriam
Yes.
Dusty
Yes.
Rusty episode? Like,
100%.
let's take a look back at
Yes.
some of the great
Yes.
moments of Dusty
Yes.
Rusty, and then it'll be like soft screen wipe.
Yes, you broke a clutch cable. here in a Target parking lot. Yeah, like that kind of, definitely, yes. But I was in an automotive accident. Thankfully, everyone was okay. It was not my fault. But Dusty Rusty was rear-ended, and we don't know if it's going to make it or not. Considering its Kelley Blue Book value is a firm handshake, a slap in the face, and partial eye contact, I think it's going to be a complete total.
Yeah, I think it is one of those things whose value can be measured in cases of beer.
Yes, definitely. Right. So you know how I measure things in used Honda Civic money?
Right.
Like
yeah.
$3,000 is about a used Honda Civic from Craigslist, right?
Right.
So when your value for your car is less than half of a used Honda Civic, something might be wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When you put a bicycle on top of your car that's not a crazy bicycle and you double the cost of your car, that is an issue.
Yeah.
When it comes to an insurance claim.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You just gotta convince them it was one of those rare carbon fiber bodied Saabs that they only make 3 of.
Yes.
And it's actually a priceless artifact.
Exactly. Like, look at my Instagram feed and how much I've yelled at and loved the car.
Yeah. Clearly, no person would do this with $1,000 car.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
That would just be insane, and I'm not an insane person. So anyway, while Dusty Rusty is getting taken apart to assess the collision damage, I had a rental Toyota Yaris.
Which I got into this morning and thought it was a Mitsubishi Mirage.
That's how distinct the compact market is.
Yeah.
And setting itself apart from one another. I fit in it. That was my primary concern. I fit in it. The stereo had Bluetooth, so I could listen to 2 fax machines gently fucking. So that was good. The downside was, I think it's just a 3-cylinder engine. I don't know.
I think it is, yeah.
Tiny engine. No power. It feels like you're sitting on a lawn chair when you sit inside of it. It's... The handling is twitchy and actually kind of fun. And it does have a real handbrake if you're so inclined to do things like that. And it is very easy to turn the traction control off. It's just one button that you just hit while you're moving. You don't even need to stop or put it in park or do anything weird. And that's it. Yeah.
Those are the features you need in a rental car.
Yes.
You need a working handbrake.
Yes.
And you need an easy, defeatable traction control system.
Yes.
That is it. That is all you need to have fun in a rental car.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. Yeah. So that's the Yaris, and I traded it back in so we could go on this trip, and I'll get something else when we return. What will I get? I have no idea.
Yeah. I had last weekend a rental car as well. I had family in town, and we needed something a little bit bigger. So we went for the opposite end of the spectrum from yours.
From the Yaris, yeah. You went for a car that could actually fit the Yaris inside of it with no problem.
Yeah, exactly. We had a Yukon, a 2016 Yukon. I did not care for it.
Go ahead, let it out. Say what you really felt.
It's awful in every single way.
Okay.
It's terrible to drive. It's enormous.
Yeah,
it's
huge.
Slow.
It's slower than this.
I think it is, yeah.
Quest
Even though it has a V8, I think because it weighs as much as my house, it's incredibly slow. I don't know. I don't like it.
The sticker on those things are expensive, man.
They're crazy expensive. And I don't understand, other than needing towing capacity. If towing capacity and 7 seats was what you needed,
right,
then maybe it starts to make sense.
Right.
But if you don't need, because that's what that engine is for.
Right,
exactly. It's there for towing, which I get. Totally get that.
Sure.
That is the only thing. That is the only reason to buy that car.
Right.
Any other reason is nonsense because the seating position is ridiculous. The steering wheel doesn't even telescope. It's missing some weird features. and you'd just be better served if you need 7 seats with something like this. Honestly,
Exactly. Yeah. With the minivan. Yeah.
with a minivan or even a crossover would be better, really, for most people than the Tahoe.
Yeah.
And the margins on that thing must be just enormous. 'Cause
Oh,
they can't
yeah.
be expensive to make.
No.
Because that's still body frame
Yeah.
construction.
Exactly.
You know, it's not unibody.
No.
So, yeah, and it drives like a truck.
Okay.
And we were driving it in mountain roads because we went hiking and stuff,
Sure.
and it was terrible. I mean, the
Okay.
brakes are awful. For a new car, the brakes are really bad. Yeah, it was just not a pleasant experience to drive.
I like that you mentioned it didn't have a telescoping steering wheel because the Yaris didn't either. And that really pisses me off because
But the Yaris isn't sold as a luxury vehicle.
No, but still, like, a telescoping steering wheel should just be part of everything now.
Yeah,
right? If it tilts, it should telescope.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should just be a standard feature on just about everything.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, but you're right. The Tahoe is marketed as a luxury vehicle.
Right.
Like a step down from an Escalade.
Well, I think the Denali, where it's the Yukon.
Oh, yeah.
The Yukon is kind of like the luxury version.
That's
of that.
it. And Denali, you're right. Yeah.
And then that's a trim level on top of that, I think.
Yeah.
But
still,
yeah.
I think what you expect from a modern truck, that level of luxury is actually really, really high.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
And it's in that weird, like, in between space of between utilitarian truck and luxury vehicle, where really it would be better served by being one or the other.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And something of that size, and here's the weird thing too, is that because it's so tall, and there's a lot of ground clearance and stuff, but because of that, there's really not that much room inside.
Okay.
It really doesn't feel that big inside. It feels, it weirdly feels kind of cramped. The windows are much smaller than these are.
Yeah.
So it feels like there's a lot less air in the cabin.
Okay.
And you feel much more cramped, I think, than you would in something like this.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, and there's no 4-wheel drive in this. It's front-wheel drive only.
So you have a giant transmission hump
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Drive
yeah.
shaft hump. Yeah.
And I'm sure it's very capable off-road and everything, but if you're not using it for that, then there's really no reason to have it.
Right.
So,
yeah. Why have it?
Yeah, that's what I think about the Tahoe.
Okay.
Thumbs down for me.
Yeah.
I understand why people buy it. I understand why people need it. It's just not something I would ever get.
Okay.
And it also felt just crazy huge coming from my Volkswagen.
God, I can't even imagine. Yeah.
Well, it's just so high.
Yeah.
It's just so high up in the air and ungainly feeling. And I was with my in-laws, and they were very excited about it because they are, big into that style of car, and kept saying, "Well, you're gonna drive this, and you're gonna you're gonna
fall in love with it.
You're gonna fall in love with this high seating position." And no, I didn't. I didn't. It's terrible.
Yep.
So yeah, that was my rental car experience.
Okay.
So now,
Yeah.
what are we doing? We are. Where's Waze? Well, I'm about to reach into your crotch.
Reach into my crotch and get my
what
phone.
happened.
Yeah.
So we are on our way to the next stop is Des Moines, and we are actually going to meet up with some fellow podcasters. We're going to meet up with the guys from 10/10 for dinner, and according to Waze, we'll be there at 6:39 in the evening.
Okay.
And we're going around a curve very quickly.
Yeah.
It seemed like that took that pretty well.
It did.
Yeah.
This
Kind of
thing
just
actually,
loaded up and
Yeah. It has surprisingly little body roll. Yeah. No, we just took that at, whatever the speed limit was, plus 40 miles an hour on top of that.
Right, yeah, some speed.
Yeah, some speed at X.
Oh, we're 100 miles from Des Moines still.
Did you guys just hear the life drain out of Ian when he said that? We have that on tape. Yeah. Yeah. So we're meeting up with the guys from 10/10, and
And we're getting dinner. We're apparently barbecue or something. I don't know.
Okay.
They just sent us an address, so it could just be that they're eliminating competition.
Oh yeah.
And people are gonna find this audio tape like the fucking Blair Witch Project.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. There will just be a podcast where you and I are standing in a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are just gonna have found audio of us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And then the video will just be coming from the X6 model that Ike sent to us, which is clearly just a video camera. It's just a nanny cam that's constantly streaming video back to Ike.
Yes. Yes.
Which is creepy, Ike. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, and also I'm going to tell you that thing has seen some things because I take that in the bathtub with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a waterproof camera. That's nice.
That's my rubber ducky.
And it's going to be like an Arrested Development situation where it still leaks, and they're going to be like, "We found missile sites in Iraq."
Those are balls.
Those are balls.
Yeah.
Those are balls.
Anytime you take them close up like that, it looks like landscape.
And this has been photography with Team Clear Coat.
That's right. Macro and micro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's a good update. Let's wrap it up. I'm good at this.
Yep. There we go. Hit the stop button. Nice. Did I do it?
Ian?
Yes, Dave.
I'm glad I was stuck in a minivan with you.
Oh, God.
So this...
I was like, Dave, do you have a bit for this bumper? And you were like, yeah, totally. Lies. All lies.
But I want to talk about feelings.
Oh, God. Okay.
So this is because I think I'm emotionally reliving this section of the road trip. Right.
Okay.
And that, like, that vignette, if you will, is a little slap happy.
A little bit.
Right? A little, yeah, I mean, optimistic, but that's a theme for me throughout the entire thing.
Well, but if you actually listen to what we were talking about there, especially in that first segment before
I was driving, yeah.
Before you were driving, you were being optimistic, and my expectations were diminishing rapidly because I didn't think I was going to have the energy to keep up with your optimism. So at some point we were crossing.
Right? Yeah, we did have that. We did have that intersection.
Yeah,
where there was
and
a little.
It was beautiful.
I know. We touched our graphs.
Oh God.
I have the worst safe word. That makes me think of this bit I've been trying to work on. That's like, my password is so fucking clever.
Yeah.
Like, it will. You would think it's hilarious. Like, but it's my password. Like, I can't tell you.
Like, that's your actual. Yeah, well, you can't do that, Dave. Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we doing?
We were talking about how we were getting a little slap happy, but
yes,
I want to move this along.
Okay.
I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna put my Ian impression on.
Okay.
I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna be a little bit tipsy from whiskey. I'm gonna slap the feelings aside, and I'm just gonna get down to facts, because that's what stimulates my nips is facts. If I'm Ian.
Oh my God.
So he
started doing an impression of me in the blanket fort, and for some reason it ended up with him feeling his nipples.
Well, yeah, Ian, we're not on Facebook Live. Why do you think we stopped periscoping?
Yeah, no shit. Too much nipple touching. Anyway, go ahead.
We're driving through Nebraska. We fucking made it, which makes me just want to sing that song like, looks like we made it.
He's singing again. But then we made it to Iowa. And Iowa. What was it? What was the word?
Bucolic.
Dave learned a new word.
I did.
I was surprised that you didn't know that one.
No, my vocabulary isn't very good. I went to public school in Missouri, son. Yeah.
I was thinking the word I should have used was pastoral. That was the adjective, or not the adjective, the synonym. That
adjective, yeah.
No, but the synonym to bucolic that would have helped explain it immediately. I feel like pastoral.
Pastoral makes me think of like boring hymns. It does.
Okay. All right.
But so going through Iowa, say you're going through Iowa, you got to go to Des Moines. You know, you're rolling through on I-80, and let's just say you have an automotive podcast where one of you is,
like you do. I'm pretty sure 90% of our listeners do.
Exactly, right? Yeah, you have an automotive podcast. It's two folks. One of you is dashing and handsome and very distinguished looking and a very talented driver. And the other is a taffy-addled ginger that is easily sunburnt, even in Wisconsin.
The last one is me.
Yeah. And you want to meet up with some other folks that have an automotive podcast that are awesome dudes.
This is such a wide net hypothetical that you're casting.
Yeah.
This could apply to anyone. Literally anyone.
Anytime, anywhere.
Yep.
So what do? You reach out on the internets, the Twitters, and you say, hey, we're coming through. Let's meet up.
Yeah. So we met up with the guys from 10/10 podcast. You should go check them out.
Definitely.
They're much better at this than we are. They're like motorsports sort of focused.
Yep.
And they do a really great job with that. But yeah, and they will also take you to wonderful barbecue in Des Moines.
Yes.
Which, although we appreciated the gesture, as you'll hear in the next segment, it maybe wasn't the best choice.
But are we known for making good choices, Ian?
Well, no, we're driving 16 hours each way in a minivan. That's what this whole show is. Also, we're sitting in your basement in a blanket fort, and I don't know if you know this or not, the World Series is on right now.
What? No.
I should be watching it.
The World Series is on right now?
Right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's... are the Royals in it?
They're not, but the Cubs are.
Okay. So they're... Okay. So?
For the first time since 1945.
Oh.
They haven't won it since 1908.
Baseball's been around since 1945? No, I'm just kidding. I know baseball's been around forever. Yeah. Yeah, World Series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll gloss over that.
Yeah.
10 what are we doing? 10/10. So 10/10 took us to a barbecue, and then we rolled out of Des Moines and realized
we made a huge mistake.
Ian,
Dave.
Ian, are we there yet?
No, but I do have one announcement to make.
What? You just tooted.
No.
Okay.
I got the meat sweats.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
We got the meat sweats.
Yes, we do.
We stopped in Des Moines.
Yes. To meet Robbie and Adam from the 10/10 podcast.
Yeah.
You should definitely check out their podcast. It is awesome.
Yep.
They're great guys.
Yeah, motorsports focused. They're good, nice guys. They did fill us full of barbecue.
Yes.
In the very middle of a long road trip, though, and that is, I would say, diabolical.
Yes. I was joking with you earlier. I said we might as well have had red wine, turkey, and some NyQuil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. It's sleepy time.
So we stopped to get coffee.
Mm-hmm.
We have coffee.
Yeah.
And we still have 6 hours to go.
Ugh.
I know.
Ugh.
Our next turn isn't for 91 miles.
For anyone who's... So I know we have some listeners that are not in the U.S.
Yes.
The right angles, the large trips you can make at right angles in this part of the country are really pretty astounding.
So let me give you an example. When I go to my parents' house, right? I from my house, I take a right, a left, I get on I-70, and then I take I-70 straight for 650 miles.
Yeah, and there's really... Oh, God, we're in a construction... Okay, yeah.
So then, once I get into Kansas City, I take a left, a right, and a right, and I am at my parents' house. So in 5 to 6 turns, I have gone to my parents' house from 650 miles away.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. You can just do huge passes of land and never have to turn.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically doing like 2.5 states, and not, like I was saying earlier, bullshit New England states. No,
Right.
these are no kidding, not fucking around rectangle states.
Exactly.
And one highway.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
lots of rumble strips.
Yup.
This lane is all jacked up.
Listeners, you should know that Ian is putting our safety at risk to provide the best audio quality for our podcast.
What?
He's riding on the shoulder. He's got the minivan up on 2 wheels
Yeah,
to avoid a rumble strip.
I would say, I'm not one to like toot my own horn.
No.
as it were.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Not a lot of people know that about me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would say that driving wise, I think if in a spec minivan race,
Yes.
I think I would be formidable.
I think you would be diabolical.
I feel like I'm getting the most out of this.
Yeah, I think you are, much like our podcast friends, are driving at 10/10ths.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Synergy.
What you did there.
Hashtag brand.
Saw
Hashtag brand.
it. Synergy.
Synergy.
Good job.
That was the best presentation I've ever seen. Ian,
Yes.
what are we going to do for another 6 hours?
I have no idea. Sleep, I've been told, is not an option.
No, it is not.
What
It is not.
What is
Oh,
happening?
God. We're gonna have
this
a
road is just
A lot of rumble strips.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so we can't sleep. We're going to listen to some gangster rap
Yes.
and some Rappington musicals.
I don't know that I would call Kanye West gangster rap.
Yeah. But that's about it. Yeah. And we're going to eat Altoids, bananas.
Oh, God.
You bought me some Tic Tacs.
I did.
Yep. Thank you.
Bought you a
you.
little present.
You did,
Bought
buddy.
you a little present.
Thanks, buddy.
We cleaned the windshield together. It was
We
It
did.
was a magical moment.
It was. We touched tips of window cleaners. And there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this is us in leaving Des Moines.
Leaving Des Moines.
It's-
Leaving Des Moines.
What time is it? It's 9. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yep,
It's
it is 9 p.m.
And our estimated time of arrival is 2:43 according to the Waze.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't have stopped to eat so much barbecue, but guess what?
We
The
did.
10/10s guys are awesome.
did,
So
yeah.
the internet made that meeting happen.
That's true.
Yeah.
We met friends because of the internet.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Robbie was saying he has more internet friends than real friends.
Yeah. That's not a high bar for me to clear, but it's true.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be your
Oh.
friend.
All right. Well, let's
On
hold
the internet and in real life.
Well, let's hold each other and sob in the minivan for the next
Okay.
6 hours. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, buddy. Bye.
You see, the thing is, when I run Waze in Denver, I have it on for alerts only because I pretty much know where I'm going.
Right.
I forgot to turn on the voice nav.
Yep.
And we missed a turn.
We did miss a turn.
And
I don't want to say that proved to be fateful,
yeah,
but
it did.
it did. But it did.
So we missed a turn to head north, and there was kind of a roundabout way to get back to where we were going.
Yeah.
And sometimes Waze is a piece of shit,
Yeah.
right?
And apparently in the northeast corner of Iowa, in the middle of the night, that's one of those times.
Yep. So
And then this happens.
it does.
This part happens.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Ian,
Yes, Dave.
should we talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
Well, something happened on the Team ClearCoat road trip. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
I mean, we are kind of dealing with the inevitable here.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you run through it.
Oh, I get to tell the people?
When I messed up the recording of Mr.
Yeah,
Regular.
All right. So, I may, on occasion, exceed the speed limit.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes
Me too.
sometimes people witness me doing that. And sometimes fewer than that, those people happen to have police cars at their disposal. And that happened. We got a speeding ticket.
We did.
And we're in like rural Iowa on a back road.
Yep.
Speed limit was 55.
Yep.
I got clocked at some miles an hour more than that.
Exactly.
It was 82. I got clocked at 82.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. But here's the bright side of that.
Yes.
Number one, he wrote it for just 10 over because we are nice young gentlemen.
Yes. Yes.
And the other bright side is that he didn't catch us going much, much faster than that just a few minutes prior.
Well, we were going much, much faster than that because we were on a highway
Yeah,
where the speed limit is higher.
that's true.
Oh, wait, the math doesn't add up. Anyway. Anyway, Ian,
Yes.
it happened.
Yeah. That's fine. It's not a big deal.
Okay. We'll deal with it.
I'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
Not gonna worry about it right now. But you asked me if I would be okay with you commenting on my driving.
Yes.
And of course, in my head, the first thing that I went to was, does Dave have a problem with my driving?
Okay.
Do you think I drive too fast?
No, I don't. I think that if I was a police officer, I would say that you drive too fast.
I'm not talking about legally.
Right, no.
I'm talking about, do I drive unsafely?
No, I never, ever have felt that my safety was at risk with you at the wheel.
Okay.
Because you are a very focused, attentive driver.
Okay.
I think that you're much better
I
than...
tend to pick my spots when I speed.
You do. He was well hidden.
Yeah.
We didn't see him until we were past him.
Yeah.
Or right on top of him, right?
Well, we didn't see him really until he was catching us.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I recognized immediately that he was catching us suspiciously quickly.
Yeah, he came up on us fast. And then we thought,
And
well...
he like hung back for a while.
Yep.
And I think he was trying to get me to go fast again.
Yep.
And I didn't take the bait.
We did
luckily.
not take the bait.
Even though his headlights were they were like suspiciously like
On the white-blue spectrum of color
Yeah.
temperature. So let's get back to whether or not I feel like you drive unsafely. The answer's no.
okay.
The answer's no.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
And honestly, if I
Did I miss a turn?
no,
Okay.
if I didn't feel safe riding with you, I would tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Well, it happened.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the last one for the weekend.
Yeah.
It probably won't be though, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have you
Here's
drive.
hoping Iowa doesn't have reciprocity with Colorado. I don't think they do.
I got an awful cup of gas station coffee.
Oh, gas station coffee is just the worst.
Oh, I know. But it is a tool. It is that that broken socket wrench,
Right?
you know, but that's all you have at certain points.
Uh-huh.
Because I will definitely do gas station sludge before I would go to like a Red Bull or an unknown thing like that.
Okay.
Because I know it's like it's like, you know, like someone who's very familiar with drinking beer, right?
Okay,
And it's
yeah.
like, okay, like I have my beers, I know the alcohol content, I know I can have 3, you know,
Yeah.
like over this time with this kind of food,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then like if somebody yells like we're doing shots,
Yeah.
right, then
all
it's like-
that's out the window.
right? Well, yeah, and it's like, well, like okay, then I have to do a whole bunch of math and there's some unknown and like I don't know.
Okay. First of all, point of order.
Yeah.
Here's where your analogy falls apart.
Okay.
The moment where someone yells, "We're doing shots,"
Uh-huh.
no one is doing math.
Okay. Okay.
There's no math.
Okay.
Within, I'm going to say, a 15-mile radius of that declaration.
I figured it was like a beautiful mind and just like just people are envisioning equations around them. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not so much.
Okay. So like gas station coffee is my known thing. It's my
Yeah,
consistent
I
input.
understand what you're trying to
Yeah, you know? I know coffee.
say. Uh-huh.
I was born from coffee. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah. Red
Yep.
Bull always seems like a really good idea,
Uh-huh.
and then I always regret it.
Do you? Does it make your stomach upset?
It does, because I don't drink
Right.
soda.
Yeah,
and
you
I-
never
I
drink
don't-
soda, yeah.
I don't eat a lot of sweets.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of sugar just
Yeah.
bombing your
Yeah.
stomach all at once.
Yeah.
And yeah, it always makes my stomach hurt. Not as bad as Monsters. Monsters are terrible.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I always feel bad after a Red Bull.
I only had one energy drink ever, and it was one of those Sobe things forever ago,
Oh, yeah,
and I didn't like it. Yeah. And then, like, I was drinking yerba mate for a while. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Don't know what that is.
It is a tea that is made from a bush that grows in Central and South America.
Okay.
And the first time I had a cup, it has caffeine along with like some other enzymes and stuff. But the first time I had a cup of that, it was a really, really big cup of it.
Uh-huh.
It was a tea a tea blend that my buddy Joe Hammers made for me, and I had a giant cup of it, and I thought my hair was growing. And this is coming from someone who starts the day with 2 shots of espresso and then backs it with like a large Americano.
Right, yeah.
You know? Yeah, so it hit me hard. Yeah.
Wow.
Yerba mate. But in small doses, that is an excellent, like, pick-me-up.
Okay.
You know, whenever I would have a late soccer game,
What does it taste like?
it's like more of an earthy kind of tea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually really like the taste of it, but like
I can find
I'm a dirty hippie, and I like things like wheatgrass and shit like that. So, yeah. So there we go.
that. We are making a turn onto 151.
151. Hopefully, we will have better speed limits than what we were dealing with before.
Yeah. Who are you? Who are you that we're behind? Is this an Impala?
Yeah. It is a Chevy Impala.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malapala?
Malapala.
Yep,
Wow.
Chevy Malapala.
We've reached that time
Yep.
of the road trip.
This
We're
is
just
the part
making
that
up words.
I was looking forward to, the insomnia-laden podcast. And there we go. Highway 151.
Okay.
And that's it. Right?
Yeah?
What else, buddy? What else?
I don't think I have anything else. I don't think
Okay.
I have anything else for you right now.
Let me look at the ETA. ETA, right now it's 11 p.m.
We'll put a GoFundMe link for Ian's
Yep.
legal defense fund.
Yep. ETA 2:49 a.m.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
Oh, 65. So
Hey,
that
at
means we
least-
can do 90, right?
What are those lights behind us?
Yo, what's happening?
Yep.
Again?
Yep.
I'm setting it at 79. That's probably good, right?
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Ian,
Dave,
do you know what?
what?
We drove to Wisconsin.
We did drive to Wisconsin. It's kind of crazy.
How many miles on the clock so far?
1,045. and
Wow.
Counting, and we've still got
About 38 to go.
38 more miles to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're there. It is what time? Good God, what time is it?
Right now it's about 2 a.m.
Woof.
Yeah, we're going to get there at about 3:02.
We left at 9 a.m. this morning.
We did. We have seen a lot of road.
Yeah,
We have listened to some music.
we have.
We have met new real-life friends that were internet friends.
Yes.
And we have had an encounter with law enforcement.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Don't worry
It's
about
fine.
it. Don't worry about that part.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I've eaten some Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
We drank a lot of coffee.
Yes.
Probably not enough water.
No.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
And we've managed to not kill each other, Ian.
That's true. That's true. We that's so successful on that front, at least. We still do have another 16 hours in the car together on top of a full race weekend.
You know, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I would say today actually made you and I stronger.
I feel like you, at all times, might be ready to unfurl a mission accomplished banner behind wherever you're standing.
Because I'm so optimistic and
Yeah.
I'm so ignorant of the rest of the weekend that's in front of me.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Like, just like,
Woo! Woo! Mission accomplished.
any
Dave.
good news?
Dave, we're not even out of Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
We made our first left turn together. Mission accomplished. Woo!
We're just clutching hands and yeah, I'm in like an Air Force jumpsuit, holding my racing helmet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what I'm picturing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. But you know what? I'm gonna keep that optimism up, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it up. Yep.
Man, I can do like, I'm gonna say 6-7 minutes of optimism tops.
Per day? Or
Oh no, that's like my lifetime allotment, I'm saying.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've used up, I'm gonna say 2 minutes 47 seconds so far. I've got quite a bit to go. But you know, it's gotta last me until however long this existence drags on for. Did you see what I did there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't know what that means.
Ian.
Yeah.
So basically, like, when you got married, you were like, okay, here's about 10 seconds of optimism.
Yeah.
When Nico was born, you were like, we'll give this 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And when you got in the car with me, it was like, no, this isn't going to end well. I'm pretty sure that after this, Dave and I are not going to talk for like a month. I'm just going to be at home editing podcast audio, and you're just going to be drinking whiskey.
I'm just gonna be in a sensory deprivation chamber.
Yes.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to Google how to get rid of taffy by proxy. Yeah.
Pretty much. Oh my God, it's late, Dave.
Ian, I have bad news.
What?
I'm going to have to pee.
Like before we get there?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, remember our goal was to get our ETA
Yeah.
into the 2s?
Here's the thing.
And we're tantalizingly close to that.
I know.
And now you're ruining it.
Well, here's the thing. Since I'm a man and the world is my bathroom, at some point, whenever it's convenient,
If only the electric doors worked while we were moving.
You could just pull off onto a side street. I could pee real quick and we'll be back on the road anytime. Anytime.
Side street or shoulder?
Anything.
Do you want to do that right now?
It doesn't matter.
Should we stop recording? Does this part need to go in the podcast?
Let's finish. Let's finish the recording.
Well,
part.
I think we've finished because now we're talking about this.
Well, but have we, Ian? Have we? I've been peeing the whole time is what I'm trying to tell you.
It's very late,
It is
everyone,
really late.
and-
Anything that we think is funny right now
Oh, God.
is not going to be funny.
I don't even think this is funny.
No, it's not. I'm just saying. Anything we try to be funny about. Yeah.
All right,
any idea?
I'm exiting right here.
Okay,
And you're going
okay.
to get off. You're going to get out on this exit ramp and
Okay.
pee.
Yes.
So say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people.
Dave has to go pee.
You and your goddamn tiny bladder.
I'm so sorry. I'm a big boy, but I got a tiny tank.
The littlest tank.
I'm like a BMW 5 Series wagon that Frank Ocean sings about. Whip ain't got no gas tank, but it still has wood grain. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me. Got big guy, tiny little tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a well hydrated individual.
I know you are.
I'm gonna drink some water right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, spoiler alert, we made it to Wisconsin.
Yeah, we did.
So we had to go to, basically, for anyone who doesn't know, Road America is on the eastern edge of Wisconsin, almost. It's almost to Lake Michigan. It's in Elkhart Lake, and it's a ways in there. There's not a lot around it.
Dude, no.
But it is...
Except for some cops.
It's... well, there's that. It is beautiful.
It is really pretty.
It's gorgeous around there. And even driving in at, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we got there at 3 a.m.
You could tell it was really beautiful. It's very rolling.
Yeah.
The leaves were turning, although you couldn't really see that at night. And the stars were out. It was a beautiful night.
Yeah.
And then So we're approaching the cabin. My dad
Yes.
I talked my dad into getting an Airbnb like cabin, and it was like right near the racetrack.
It was awesome. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, and so for anyone who doesn't know, if you're going someplace with a group of people, and we had 6 people,
Yeah.
it's
Fucking Airbnb.
Airbnb, a house is the way to go because it was way cheaper than a hotel would have been.
Yeah.
And we were closer to the track, and it was awesome.
Fantastic showers and bathrooms. And
You can cook meals.
Yeah.
You get a real shower. You get real beds.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Everybody can kind of breathe in their own space. You
Right.
know? Yeah, you can expand instead of just being confined to a hotel room.
Yes. Well,
You
that's
know?
easy for you to say, Mr. Queen Bed.
Ian, I'm a big boy with a tiny tank.
I know.
And thank you for not making me sleep on a bunk bed.
I know. You were like, I could sleep. I was like, Dave, just take the fucking bed. Take the bed. Anyway, so we're approaching this cabin. The downside to Airbnbs is that sometimes finding them, especially for anyone who hasn't driven to rural Wisconsin, they name the roads in the craziest fucking nonsensical ways.
It's just like
You got like double X road over here.
Yep.
You got triple D road over there.
Yeah,
you got
they just hit the
EE road
keyboard.
over there.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
right.
And especially after you've been awake for like nearly 24 hours.
Right. Oh yeah, we went from J to C and then back to J.
Yeah.
Like those are the roads we
I
took.
still have no idea how that happened.
Yeah, that's like
we did it every
going
day
from
for 4 days.
First to Broadway, back to First, but First is a different street.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
No, but we were worried. It was getting to that period of time where it's late, it's dark, like the world is kind of closing in on us,
And stuff just starts appearing in your headlight.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were terrified that all of a sudden your father, right in the middle of the road.
Right. So we've been in contact with my dad. He's trying to guide us in.
Staying awake that long. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Which was a big help.
Yes.
Because we would not have found it otherwise.
No.
But we were texting, and so he was like, okay, so call me when you're close. So we called. We were like right by Road America. And we knew we were close. He's like, I'll just be in the road. And I'm like,
and I was like, Ian, we're going to murder your father.
and then we started joking about how it was going to be like a horror movie. Like we were just going to be driving along, and I was going to be like, like the girl from The Ring is just going to be like right on our windshield. Oh God.
I have the worst safe word. And also I peed a little bit because I have a tiny tank. Yeah.
So
thankfully we did not mow down your father in the road and then have to do a whole I know what you did last summer thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Or did we? We didn't.
No,
we didn't. We didn't.
We didn't. Yeah.
So we got a little bit of sleep.
Yep.
And so this next segment that you're going to hear is what we're going to go out on.
Yes.
It's us kind of recapping the night we had, such as it was, and the day of Test and Tune, which was an adventure all on its own.
Yes.
And then so we will see you again from the blanket fort.
Right.
Before we start the second part of this episode.
Yes.
And that will be covering the race and the drive home.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna do the race and the drive home in one episode and to button everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this part again, or keep in mind, we got in at 3 a.m. We had to be at the track at 8.
Yeah. So we got up at 7. Yeah. Yeah.
It was
it was tough. And
it was
also,
sleepy in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, we're doing that thing. We're emotionally reliving it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since this is the last time you're going to hear from us in the blanket fort before we leave.
Oh God.
I'm going to do some plugs.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You were, what did you think
I was bracing myself for feelings. I now have a klaxon that goes off in my head.
I don't know what a klaxon is.
Wooga, wooga, wooga.
Anytime it's like, hey,
Like when
Ian-
James Bond breaks into a base and like the people in the orange jumpsuits start running around, that's the klaxon goes off.
Okay. And that happens in your head anytime I'm like, I'm really thankful for you as
Yeah.
a friend.
Wait, I could just tell from your body posture, like when you're about to launch into some feelings.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ian,
Yes, sir.
if someone on the internet wants to find you and read your hilarious Twitters and look at your great Instagrams, they need to go to I Roll So Hard.
Their therapist. Yeah.
EYE Roll So Hard. Instagram, Twitter. Look it up.
Yep.
If somebody is dumb enough to follow me on the internet and wants to read about RIP Dusty Rusties, then Nuck Goose. NUK Goose. Instagram and Twitter.
Yep.
If you want to rate and review us on iTunes, we would love it. Let us know. We'll send you stickers. We are Team Clearcoat at Gmail. Shoot us an email with FMK Cars ideas, stuff like that. Tell a friend and reach out to us on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram, Team Clearcoat. There we go.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't so bad, buddy.
No, it wasn't.
Well, let's talk about how you mentally prepare for that kind of stuff. Like how
Okay, so
how you
3 a.m. we got in, and then we had to be at the track at 8 a.m. and- I have the worst safe word.
It's funny when the other one says it.
The other one. Roll the tape. Roll the tape.
Roll the tape. That frightened me.
I think most things would frighten you right now, Dave.
Ian, I'm very tired.
I know.
I don't know what to do.
Dave, this is what I'm thinking is that this is example number one why it's good that you don't have children.
Yeah.
Because we had what most parents would say is the best night of sleep that they've ever had. We had 4 hours of sleep. 4 hours of uninterrupted sleep. That's gold, my friend. Gold.
That's not enough for Ginge.
Yeah, apparently not.
No, I can't do that. And on top of that, I'd just like to point out that your alarm tone for your phone is like sunny, happy, cheery, and I did not expect that coming from you.
This is what makes me a terrible IT guy. It's the default.
Oh. Even I don't have the default.
Yeah, it's the default. Didn't even bother to change it. I don't care that much.
In the phone, it should just be, none, alarm, apathy.
Right.
Is the setting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on just the apathy global setting is what I have.
Ian,
Yeah.
there's someone else here.
There's someone else on our bed.
Giggity.
On our bed.
Yeah. So we are joined by Jake, who very generously made the trek up to Wisconsin from Chicago. Jake, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Jake from the Rags to Races podcast, and any excuse to come to Road America, I'm there.
Jake, we love your podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming up to hang out with us. And we're sorry that you have to be around us for a couple days.
Not only around us, I don't think anyone, just to drive it home, he is sharing a bunk bed with me.
And because I just happen to be the tall one, I get my own bed.
Well, but you spent all last night just, looking forlornly at me in the bunk bed. So now you're just going to be creeping both of us out.
Yeah, I was going to put one foot up on your bunk for you to massage and the
Yeah.
other foot low on the low bunk for Jake to massage.
Yeah, so we're getting friendly is what we're saying.
Very friendly.
Yes. So, Jake, you weren't here for Test and Tune Day. Give us your unvarnished, I want to hear first gut level impressions of our
of the
team,
car, the team, the operation,
Yeah.
our spirits.
You're miles ahead of where I'm at with my car, and I'm planning on doing the same thing next year, so I got a lot of work ahead of me.
Okay. Well, we have done literally zero work.
Yeah, no. We rented a van and drove from Colorado.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. And the internet brought us together. Mm-hmm. That's all. That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about today a little bit. So,
I think today you finally had a chance to see me execute in a very direct mechanical fashion.
Yes, when there was a time crunch on.
Yes.
So towards the end of the day. So today was a test and tune day. Towards the end of the day, Dwayne, the crew chief, told me to come in. We're going to change the front brake pads just to practice. And so I pulled it into the garage, and he's like, "Just stay in the car." I was like, "Stay in the car for brakes? Like." For me, that's a 6-hour job, and then it gets towed to my mechanic where it stays for another 6 days.
And how many fuses do you blow?
And 75, you can't just have someone sitting in the car for that. That's child abuse. That's a mandatory reporting situation.
At one point, you're just applying money directly to the brake rotors and rubbing
just hoping it helps.
Yeah.
But no, Dave, you knocked that shit out. Minutes.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So those brakes are the exact same configuration that they are on the rear of the Saab.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what we're finding out about the Maserati, and Jake, this is what you're going to figure out. What happened was in the mid '80s, Maserati realized they were out of money, and so they just rolled around the world like a reverse Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. It just went to every automaker and just started stealing shit. They took the tour in Detroit for GM, and they just grabbed a bunch of electronics and just shuffled out. And then they were like, "Yes, I am a Citroen enthusiast," and just left with an engine block. That's what happened with Maserati in the mid-80s.
It's automotive Katamari Dharmacy. That PlayStation 2 game with the sticky ball where you roll it around and pick up stuff?
Yes.
That's Maserati.
Yes, that's what it was.
Hello, alternator that we'll never be able to find.
Stop brakes. Yeah.
That's sort of like AMC back in the 70s and 60s, where it's just parts bins from everybody else.
Yep, exactly. All of the things that everyone made cheaply in one place. What could go wrong?
Well, you and I could find ourselves at Napa puzzling the employees.
Yeah. It doesn't take much to puzzle employees at parts stores, though.
We didn't have a lot to go on.
No. And yes, we were given information, I guess. It was basically like someone said, "Hey, find us a wheel for a car." And that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jake, you've been to Road America before. Have you supported races here before, or what's your experience here?
Every time I come here, I'm crewing. If you've listened to my podcast, Rich Walkie, who was on the show a few episodes back, I crew for him on his car. He runs STL class in the SCCA majors. He runs the regional division. He actually is regional champ for, I believe he said, the 5th year in a row this year. But I try and get up here with him as much as I can. It's just a great track, great place to be. I absolutely love it here. The racing's always second to none.
Yeah, and it's gorgeous right now. The colors are at their peak.
Beautiful time of year.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Who was it? What's his name? Matt Farah. Didn't he say this is sort of like the Spa-Francorchamps of America or something like that?
I actually thought about that. It seems like a mini Nürburgring. Yeah, and because it's pretty narrow in spots. The walls are pretty close in,
and it's wooded,
and it's the woods are just right there.
Yeah, and
it's winding and
a
long.
Very high speed track too.
Yeah,
lots of long straightaways.
Yeah, some would say terrifying.
Yeah.
Some being somebody sitting on this bed.
Yeah. Some being me. It's scary in spots, but it's a lot of fun though.
Yeah. So when you're crewing, Jake, what is your typical role?
Most of the time when I'm here, I'm the crew chief on the car. So we do the maintenance on the car. I'm verifying tire pressures and adjusting however the driver wants. If there's any adjustments we need to make to the car, we're going to do it in the grass out in the field next to the front straight. And then I'm up at the pit row. I'm up at the pits for the race, and I've got the headphones on, the microphone, and I'm calling out lap times and gap between the person in front of him, person behind him, let him know what I see. If there's any changes, I go to a full course yellow and he's somewhere out in the middle of the track, I'm letting him know. So I'm constantly giving him radio communication, and then when we're not on the track, I'm working on the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah. So, and that, if I'm not mistaken, that's basically a sprint format, right?
Yeah, it's usually 15 to 20 laps. So,
Right.
and depending on cautions or whatever, it could go anywhere between like 25 minutes and 45 minutes. I usually think they cut it off at about 45 minutes if it goes too long.
Okay. Yeah. So the race we're doing here is 2 sevens. So there's a 7 tomorrow, and there's a 7 on Sunday.
And these are hours.
Yes, not
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. 2 7-hour races. So what do you think as far as like skill transfer and stuff? Like what do you have you done crewing for an endurance race before?
Never an endurance race. However, I did do a lot of work when I was living down in Texas. I did a lot of work on sprint cars and dirt tracks.
Okay.
And if there was a wreck, which was very common on dirt tracks with sprint cars when you're running 700 horsepower and 1 speed,
Right. Yeah.
you tend to see things get a little crazy on the dirt. And if there was a wreck or something, there wouldn't be long cautions. There wouldn't be, if there was a red flag, it wasn't for very long because all the cars would have to stop and then they'd have to be push started because they don't have starters. But so it was a very limited amount of time to pound out the damage, replace wheels, get the car back on track. So if there is a situation where we need to work on the car, I am prepared for that. It's just sort of a cross between my time with sprint cars and my time working on sports cars. We've got a lot more time usually on the sports cars doing a sprint race like I do with the SCCA, because basically if something goes wrong with the car, our race is done. We're just going to pull in. We're not going to damage the car any worse than it is. So a little combination of A and B I think will help me. I personally haven't really excuse me. I haven't really personally worked on an endurance race situation yet, but like I said on the podcast, I'm building my Miata for specifically what we're doing here this weekend. So It's going to be a big learning experience for me, great education for me for next year.
Yeah, it's fun to. It's kind of fun to make the decisions. Like, and we had to deal with this when we were at High Plains too, and we're already making decisions before we even start. Of like, do we fix it or do we manage it throughout the race? Like, and because you have to make that calculation of like how much time you're going to spend off track versus how much time do you burn managing something that may make you slower.
Yep.
Throughout the course of the race. So it's a tough. There's a lot more strategic thinking, I think.
And there is that saying, seconds are lost on the track, minutes are lost in the pits.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And a lap, like, my uncle said earlier, like, a lap is a really hard thing, especially here, where a good lap is 3 minutes.
Right.
Because it's a 4-mile track. It's tough to make a lap up,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the start of the race.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
So here's what I'm nervous about. I'm going to start off.
Yeah.
This is my me being on #brand.
Yes.
I'm going to start off with what I'm pessimistic about.
Okay. Let's hear it.
We didn't practice driver change.
No, not one bit.
We didn't practice driver change, and every driver change we did was a cluster. Even when I didn't get out of the car, I just unbuckled myself. Because here's the problem. There's a problem with when I move the seat forward.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know this or not. I'm short. So I move the seat forward. That means the belts have to be longer.
Yes.
And so it's harder to physically get in there to get the lap belt as tight as it needs to be.
Yeah, somebody else needs to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's an issue. I forgot my earbuds.
Yeah.
And then my dad and my uncle are sharing neck restraints. So it's a huge cluster already. We haven't even started.
Yeah, I feel like the driver change stuff will come down. I think right now the team has the attitude that the car needs to be out there and it needs to be turning laps. I think in the past we've struggled with priorities and things like that, and I think that stuff's going to melt away.
Yeah,
and I think we're going to be able to find our feet with the driver change and things like that.
Well, With more people here too, if we can get one person assisting on the driver's side, one person reaching through the passenger side to assist with the belts, I think that'll speed the process up quite a bit. And I'm used to helping Rich when he's getting in and out of the car, even though we're not worrying about speed getting into the car. I'm always right there next to him, swapping out, plugging in the radio attachments and helping him with his belts and his Hans device and getting everything lined up.
Yeah.
So hopefully the extra set of hands will help speed that up.
And the third set of hands can swap the Hans device.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. It's true. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me go to point number 2 since you guys batted that one down.
Okay. What? Come at us, bro.
There are 80 cars.
Yeah.
80.
That's a lot.
That's a big field. Even on a track this size, that's a big field.
You're going to lose 10 to attrition right away.
Yeah.
I'd say more than that probably, depending on the expertise and the experience of the drivers.
Yeah.
You could potentially lose 15 cars by turn 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just really hope we keep out of trouble. And,
It's going to be a
Historically,
start.
we have
There's
not
probably
been
going to
good
be
at
some
that.
yellows and
But I'd say whoever's starting off the race, turn 1, you want to be really careful at, and the bottom of the hill, what is that, turn 3, turn 5? Yeah, turn 5. Those 2 corners, that first lap, are going to be god-awful.
Yeah, everyone's going to be on cold tires. Everyone's going to be jumpy, and there's just going to be a mess.
it's only going to be 34 degrees tomorrow morning.
and that's why. Oh yeah, and there's that too. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
great,
cold.
great for the turbos.
Yeah,
Not so good for tires.
and I was like, I do not want to start.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And then Sunday's going to be even worse because
Yep.
it's going to have rained on Saturday night.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
may even still be raining on Sunday,
Yep.
which would be
Yep.
real special.
But you know what? Yeah, it's going to be okay. We're going to deal with it.
Yeah, no, okay. So let me go to the other thing.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
I'm still learning the car.
You are.
I'm still
You
learning
are.
the car. It's pretty. I'm gonna say, and Jake, maybe you can, because you spent a lot of time here. Maybe you can help me with this.
Okay.
Turn 1 is goddamn terrifying.
Okay.
It's a scary corner because 1, it's high speed. It's so I'm touching in the Maserati. We're touching 120
Wow.
when I start
Leading up to the breaking point. Yeah.
right, when I go for the brakes. Basically when I'm get out of like relaxed check my gauges mode and pick up my braking point, we're at 120, so we're probably over that. And then I have to slow the car down to, and because I'm a big wuss, like 65. I think I could carry a lot more speed through there. But the thing is, like, it's off camber the further outside you get. So if you miss the apex, then it falls away from you.
Okay.
And
So it literally goes from bad to worse.
And,
it really does.
And
yeah.
here's the thing. Because of the number of cars that are going to be on track, the fact that you're taking it a little slower will probably help you because especially early on, you're going to have cars bunching up there. So you're going to need a slower entrance anyway.
Okay.
I think taking it a little slower, and you got to remember, you're in a marathon, not a sprint here.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be running 10/10 red mist the entire time. In fact, you're probably barely ever going to do that, save for maybe a lap or 2. But if you're running a solid 6 to 8 tenths, for the most part, you're going to be fine. So I wouldn't be too concerned about your entrance speed, especially since you have turbochargers to help you get that exit speed, which is what's going to be more important, especially coming out of turn 1 and was it turn 2 going into the long straight, especially.
Yeah.
You're really going to want that exit speed.
Like, turn 2 is that kink between.
Oh, that's
turn
right.
1 and turn
So
3.
turn three, you're definitely going to want that exit speed. So
Yeah, and that's what I told my dad was being all weird about, like, not carrying enough speed through turn 3, and I was just like, I overslow there and just really emphasize slow and fast out. That and turn 14, like, so you don't want to fuck it up. If you fuck those corners up,
You have a lot of track in front of you.
yeah, then your exit is totally compromised and you're going to be screwed.
Yeah. Well, we haven't talked about yet are 2 of my favorite corners on the track, though.
Yeah.
Carousel?
The kink and Canada corner.
Okay.
So they run the bend here. They run the.
Oh, you're not running the kink.
No.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah. No,
Because that gets downright scary.
Yeah, no. It's all, I mean, that Canada Corner is already pretty
enough.
dicey.
Yeah.
Because the thing about Canada Corner, so what we're talking about is that's all turn 11, right? Turn 11 here at Road America.
Think so?
And it's basically at the end of a really long straight. So again,
You're flying.
touching 120 when I pick up my eyes to grab the braking zone, and it's not a straight braking zone.
No,
so
there's
you
a
have to
curve to the left, and then it's hard braking, and it's a hard 90 degree to the right.
Yeah. And the nice thing is that you get a compression bonus through the corner a little bit, so you can, like, for me, I don't know, I was able to really lean on the brakes, and that's the only place on the track I trail brake, because you can really just load up that left side and then go, which is nice.
Okay.
So that was what was working for me there. I know my uncle and my dad both said that they don't trail brake there, but that's the only place I trail brake.
Okay.
Well, that's what goes along with it, too. Every driver is going to have their different technique, and whatever is fastest for you and works best for you, definitely do it that way. I've seen that on the autocross track before, people doing things a little bit different or slightly different, or in some places completely different.
Yeah.
But
Coming out with close times.
Yeah.
Well, and the three of us are pretty close. Like, my uncle, I think his best time was 2:59. My best time was 3:03. And in my head, my goal is I just want to be within 4 seconds of the fastest person on the team. That's always my like it was with Matt.
Right.
And then my dad was 3:06. So we're all kind of grouped in at right there. And I feel like I can run that like 3:05 to 3:10 range, like
all day.
I can get that's
autopilot.
a rhythm that I can do.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is I brought my GoPro, and we can review the tape after tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be weird because whenever I'm in the car, there's just going to be like a technical problem. It's going to be really strange.
I hate to break it to you. That thing's got its own Wi-Fi connection. I can control it from my smartphone.
Also, I don't know how to work it. So.
But
Default setting on my alarm.
we can use that tape to review where you're slower in corners and where you can pick up speed, and you might be able to match or beat the fastest driver in the car by Sunday night.
I would love that. I would really love to have GoPro, review it with you and Dwayne, and then maybe have you guys talk to me about it.
Okay.
Maybe
Absolutely.
that'll be a segment we do
Yes.
for this episode.
Sure.
Dave, you would agree to anything right now.
Yes.
What if we just like made sure there was no candy within a 50-mile radius of you?
Okay.
But you got to go to sleep right now.
Okay.
It's amazing. Yeah. What about you, Dave? You did good today. What are you worried about tomorrow? What are you excited about tomorrow?
I'm not really worried about anything. I appreciate that Dwayne is there as a crew chief. I have the type of job I have because you give me a procedure. I find out if that procedure is applicable to the current situation, and I execute that procedure.
Right.
Like, that is my career in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you
pretty
know?
much.
And so, like, I'm doing that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, that's just what I do well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, then you add in, like, the possibility of, like, you know, having to think at a crisis or, you know, under pressure. And I'm very good executing under pressure and in short periods of time. That's what she said. And, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm bummed that I ripped off my wrong wristband.
You
and I'm
definitely
going to
did.
have to go to the thing in the morning and be
Wrong wristband. That's
Yeah.
why I just keep all of them on.
Yeah.
Like I look like I'm a raver.
Yeah, no, yeah, you went to like an EDM festival, ate a bunch of Molly, and now, yeah.
I was gonna-
Even sparkly.
Yeah.
I was going to say it looked like you went to Lollapalooza on a bunch of one-day passes.
Yeah.
That was one thing. So we were putting the wristbands on.
Yes.
And you could tell the people on the team who had been to a concert in, say, the last 15 years, because they all automatically turned their wrist upside down to expose the non-hairy part of
Right.
their wrist, right? Because this is how you get into concerts. You get the sticky wristband.
Yes.
And my dad and my uncle just were like, here you go. I was like, you guys are killing me. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I mean, I always impress people with the technique of turning it inside out and then pulling
it.
just to
take it
out.
off?
Yeah.
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 I just
like a boss. Oh, yeah, you just grizzly man
whip it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then cry. Stop. Gently.
Sweetly.
While I rock you.
Yes, exactly. What about you, Jake? Are you just excited for tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I'm so pumped. I mean, it's a learning experience. B, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Any excuse I have to be around race cars or racing in general, I'm there. I'm gonna fucking pack up, do whatever I gotta do to be involved and get my hands dirty. I love it. It's part of my life.
And there's some cool shit here. Hopefully we'll get to talk to some people.
Oh my god, yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to talk to some people because there's
Yeah.
some cool race cars here. My favorite so far, I think, is that 190E. Did you see it?
I didn't see the 190E. I saw it from the distance.
There's
it
a
looked so
190E.
cool.
Is it a Kazi?
Well, we didn't get the Cosworth here, but we got the 2.3 16 valve, and it's a 16 valve. At least that was what the badge was. We haven't looked.
Okay.
We haven't gone and talked to them
Because the
yet.
Kazis are eligible for importation now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's a whole other discussion. A whole other podcast that we will get into. But yeah, it's really cool looking.
There's a Dodge Neon, a blue Dodge Neon that is fast as shit.
There's a couple of them.
Oh my God.
I have seen some stupid fast neons.
Right?
You wouldn't think it, but yeah, and I'm not even like the pre-SRT era, like
Yes.
two-door coupes.
Yes.
Actually, the girl that I knew in high school that got me into autocrossed and actually got national champion in two-door ACR neon.
Wow. Okay.
So it was basically stock, but it had fully adjustable conies on it from the factory.
Okay. Wow. Let's see. I really like that green Toyota Supra.
Yeah,
like
the Supra Troopers.
Yeah, Supra Troopers. Yeah. Yeah.
There's some really sweet Z cars here, like
Yes.
really Z cars. I think there's a 260.
Wow.
we saw, and then there's a 240 with a V8 in it.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's that 5 Series BMW.
That is mean.
That thing is fast as
Yes.
shit, and they drive the fucking balls off that
Yes.
car. I was in the car, and they were sideways coming at me.
Holy shit.
Crazy fast. Like they just four-wheel drift that motherfucker through every corner. It's insane.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it just sounds mean.
Well, I'm going to walk around the track tomorrow as soon as the car is dialed during the race.
Yeah. No, please do. Yeah.
And I've got to see some of
Yeah,
this.
your second job behind
Yeah.
behind like making sure that the car doesn't
Oh, I was going to
explode.
say swabbing up your tears as
Yeah.
you cried them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, uh-huh.
Is awkward self-promotion.
Oh, God, I hate doing that.
I know. We did a little bit of it today, and it was a struggle.
Oh my God. What did the guy say? I said, hey, do you listen to podcasts? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, good. Ours is not one you'd want to start with.
We're really good at it. We're really good at the self-promotion.
Yeah.
Well, thank God my wife is in marketing, so I have no shame.
Well, why are
I'll-
you here?
Yeah.
Why
I'll
didn't
completely-
You send her? You're no good to us.
Somebody's working on her master's and has homework, so it became me solo. So I'll shill your guys' show for you.
Don't
No, I don't
crap
mind.
on Jake for being here. He brought me Tic Tacs, Ian.
He did.
They're probably already gone, aren't they?
One box of them made.
Are you serious?
Mostly eaten.
Are you serious? No wonder you're tired. You are
Sugar crash.
You are tired. We need to wrap this up.
I am. You could papoose me right now and I just go to sleep. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Well, I just want to say
Little
that
Davey needs his sleep.
I just want to say that I am very, very thankful for what we do, Ian. Our podcast, I know it's going to get all genuine and earnest.
So I'm gonna keep you up for a little bit because I'm gonna complain about something.
Okay.
We woke up after, so we got here at 3 a.m.
Ugh.
Yeah.
We had to pleasantries,
Get settled
get everything
in.
settled
yeah.
in, everything else. We got woken up at 7:30 this morning.
Yes.
Oh.
Dave, this gangly motherfucker over here.
Hi. Hi.
The first thing. What did you say to me this morning?
I said, Ian. Well, I made some wisecrack and you laughed, and it was about the sound of your alarm, and you laughed.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Ian,
I have no memory of this.
Yeah.
But
And I said, I just want you to know, Ian, how happy I am that I have two people in my life that I can wake up with and be laughing with
my
within
God.
a minute.
I forgot how bad it was.
How good is my life, Ian?
And you could say literally, I hate your stupid fucking face. That if that was the first thing I heard in the morning, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get that. But that, I can't handle that. That's too much. That's too much in the morning. Without coffee? No.
You can't handle that at 5 p.m.
Right, but at least I have
You
some
just
energy
can't
to
handle
deflect.
that.
I can't deflect it at 7 o'clock in the morning after 4 hours of sleep.
I think you just said, "Oh God, Dave, I hate you so much."
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about because that's the reaction that I always have in my head. But like I cannot say it. I have the energy to not say it.
Okay.
At 5 p.m.
I mean, like I remember that story of when you got on an airplane like really early in the morning, and the lady in the seat next to you was like, "Hi!"
Yeah, and I just wanted to be like, "Fuck you."
Just nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Hi!
No.
Take it down. Yeah, no, because it was a 5 a.m. flight, and she was just so happy. She, hi, good morning. And I was like, no, it's not
morning. There's nothing fucking good about me being up this early, but yes, it is morning.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to hit you with that, Ian. Earnest feelings of friendship and love.
No.
Early in the morning.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep. But see, him rejecting it is actually him accepting it.
Oh my god, it's not. It's not.
Where are you? Where are you? You're sitting in a bed recording a podcast with me and Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to go, you would have gone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And there'd just be awkward stares between me and Dave in silence.
You're the glue that holds Jake and I together.
You complete us, Ian.
Okay, and this has been a dispatch from Team Clearcoat Goes to Road America. That's, we're not doing plugs. We're just saying goodnight. Good night, everybody. Bye.
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 Listen to Jake's podcast.
Listen to Jake's podcast. Plug your podcast.
Rags to Races. You can find me on iTunes and Stitcher and YouTube now. I'm on Facebook.com/Rags to Races, Instagram Rags2 Races, and I'm on Twitter @Rags to Races.
Jake is better than this.
I loved when he said YouTube. You looked at me with a look that said, "Why the fuck aren't we on YouTube,
Well, because
Dave?"
he's the second person to tell us that they're on YouTube. Because we met 10 Tents and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're on YouTube," and we were like, "We're not."
I wasn't gonna do it, but
we're not on YouTube.
I talked to several friends and they're like, "Yeah, I listen to podcasts, but I don't do any apps or anything, and I got an Android and I don't want to use Google Play, so I just find all my shit on YouTube."
Yep. Okay. All right. We'll put it on. We'll put it on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll put it on YouTube.
ICANN has YouTube, Dave?
Only if I can tell you sweet things when I wake
No
up.
YouTube for us. No YouTube.
You say that now, but remember, it's my GoPro that's going in the car when you're driving, and guess who's got the YouTube channel?
Well, yeah, but I don't want that either. I don't want.
I'll
internet
blur out the back of your helmet. So
I don't want internet people seeing how bad I drive. That's not
Oh,
good.
you don't drive bad.
Well, okay.
He is
Have you?
quite the skilled driver. I've raced go-karts with him.
Okay,
he is
but
a wonderfully skilled driver.
people here to compliment you.
Stop. I was just saying. I wasn't actually making comment on my skill level. I was saying that on the internet, the people who comment on like track videos on YouTube, they're all experts. They're all driving experts who will point out every single thing
Here's
that
the
you do
thing:
wrong.
you just need to do what you do with normal internet comments. Ignore the shit out of them.
Not
But
to
here's the thing,
mention-
I have
not
to
to
I gotta
mention-
dive in. I gotta dive in. I gotta
We're
wallow.
looking
I gotta
at
wallow.
what? 2.5 hours of drive time?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to edit that down to like a 5-minute, 10-minute video.
He'll give you.
It'll be your
best
greatest
stuff.
hits.
It'll be just like
that's right.
if you could just edit me one perfect lap,
I'll see what I can do.
3 hours of driving.
He's gonna give you the Barry Manilow greatest hits of your lap time. He's gonna give you Mandy.
Why is the sun changing position every corner? It's very strange. Yeah. Okay, let's wrap. This has gone on too
Ian?
long. What?
We're doing plugs.
Why are we doing plugs? This is just a segment. We're going to do plugs in the bumpers, right?
Okay, fine. We're not doing plugs.
Make sure you get out there, get on Twitter, and give the best compliments you can to EY at EYE Roll So Hard, I Roll So Hard.
Thank you so much, Jake. Do that.
All right, goodbye.
Oh, Ian's
Oh, now he is leaving.
All right. It's just Jake and I, and we're just gonna